Recent conviction of an employer who abused her Indonesian domestic helper has highlighted the problems of the so-called live-in rule, while foreign worker groups believe that their rights can be protected if they can live away from their workplace. Employers have their concerns. Status Square on Sunday. This is where hundreds, if not thousands, of domestic helpers working in Hong Kong gather on their days off. They are here because they don't have their own place in the city. These women, many from the Philippines and Indonesia, spend 6 days a week, 24 hours a day in their employer's home. Since its application, the live-in arrangement has been hotly debated. Many non-governmental organizations have been campaigning for years for the government to scrap this policy. Helpers for Domestic Helpers has been providing free legal advice for the domestic worker community for over 25 years. Its executive director, Holly Allen, explains why they need help.
Many of them are all vulnerable to abuse and exploitation by employers. For example, they are required to work up to 18 hours a day. Many of them are denied rest days. And there have been cases of sexual abuse, many cases of physical assault. So this arrangement makes them more vulnerable to abuse.
Their contract promises suitable accommodation and reasonable privacy. But in reality, some of them sleep in corridors, near washing machines or refrigerators, according to Helpers for Domestic Helpers. And some of them are even forced to spend the night in the toilet.
More cases are coming to light now, especially in the light of Ariana case. More people are willing to make a report or file a complaint.
On February the 27th, an employer was sentenced to 6 years in prison for abusing her Indonesian domestic helper, Ariana. In court, Judge Amanda Woodcock said in the verdict, this kind of conduct can be prevented if the foreign domestic helpers are not forced to live with their employers. And now, a lot of the foreign worker groups in the city are cheering not only for the justice for Ariana, but also for Judge Woodcock's comment on what they call the modern slavery in the city. However, the Employers Association sees this issue differently. Zhang Chui is the convener of support group for Hong Kong employers with foreign domestic helpers. She says they are standing firm on the live-in arrangement. She says most employers treat their helpers well, especially parents with young kids, because they are worried that the helpers will not take good care of their children if they themselves are unhappy. She fears that many employers cannot afford the extra cost of providing rental accommodation for the helpers. Plus, rent may go up because of increasing demand for flat. The Legislative Council says local workers are the priority of the current policy. Since very few local people are willing to do full-time jobs in their employers' homes, foreign workforce is allowed in on limited conditions. The Legislative Council also says domestic helpers should report to the Immigration Department in case of abuse.